Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! In over 1,000 YouTube videos that have been created for this channel, I've always encouraged you that you should stay calm and zombie on, because we don't seem to know what the future has in store. But that's the most exciting thing about the future, is never knowing what the future has in store for all of us. All we know is that we're going to be a part of it. Because if you were to ask me what I think is going to happen in Descendants of Zombies, I don't know. All I'm doing is sitting here recording Descendants of Zombies videos for all of you because you think this channel is the coolest thing you've ever watched. And that means the world to me. From wherever you're watching this video tonight, or from wherever you hear my voice, thank you so much for having been a fan of Descendants of Zombies and loving it with all of your heart. Because you are what makes this YouTube channel so special. And don't worry, Descendants 5 with Wonderland and Zombies 5 is going to happen, because it has to. Because it has everything to do with how much you believe in these storylines and the beautiful characters that bring these stories to life, and how special these characters are to each other. That, perhaps, ladies and gentlemen, this evening is the most beautiful thing to look forward to and feel encouraged by when it comes to storylines presented to us by Descendants of Zombies writers. It's just how special everybody means to each other who are a part of this cast. Like Freya Skye and Malachi Burton, who have obviously held a very special place in your hearts and have never deserved criticism. That's why I created this YouTube channel, was to take away that criticism, because I saw posts earlier today, for instance, of how people were criticizing Red, and then somebody posted something on X, I think it was, where they said, in their eyes, Red's never done anything wrong, because she hasn't. That's the reason why that person felt that way when they posted that post on X, was because they believed in their eyes Red had never done anything wrong, and Kylie Cantrell is the most beautiful person ever. And I kind of support that, because I've never seen Kylie Cantrell do anything wrong, nor deserve criticism. I think Kylie Cantrell is by far one of the most talented stars on Disney Channel of this generation. And if there ever was somebody who deserved her face on the Descendants of Zombies truck, it's definitely Kylie Cantrell, because Kylie Cantrell has been riding on this horse for forever and has never felt more proud to be a part of such a successful franchise, which is huge. There are millions of people out there. And by the way, if you guys hit my subscribe button and get me in as the president of Disney, Descendants of Zombies will happen for you guys at least every 2 years. And Kylie Cantrell's face will always be on that transport truck going from city to city for the Descendants of Zombies Worlds Collide Tour, as will many of your favorites, such as Freya Skye, because they deserve to be there. I say this because I've read all the critical reviews that people like Kylie and Freya have been receiving recently, because there are many people out there who love and support them, and they know you love and support them, so that's why they write these critical reviews. Because they have this desire to really release how they feel about Descendants of Zombies, to get reactions out of all of you. But what it comes down to is how much you believe in it. And a crazy guy who always thought that his house was haunted, who lives near a soda plantation and a chemical plant, who you guys always subscribe to. And trust me, guys, my life never comes easy, living near a soda plantation and a chemical plant that could explode at any given moment. Seemingly, I'm the only one crazy enough to actually do that and attempt that. But honestly, guys, if you ask me, it's quite fun, because it led me to all of you. It gave me a chance to record all these wonderful videos to offer you even more inspiration that Descendants 5 and Zombies 5 was coming. It was going to happen. And I told you a lot of crazy stories about how I thought my best friend may have been a vampire, my girlfriend even was a vampire, my next door neighbors may have been vampires. I specialized in vampire hunting for years, because somebody's got to do it and somebody's got to keep you safe. I don't know really why I felt inspired to become a vampire slayer. Maybe it had something to do with how I always saw Buffy and Angel on Buffy the Vampire Slayer years ago, and I always wanted to be in these action scenes. And then I had a couple of friends involved in the wrestling industry who always were on Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and I thought it was the coolest thing in the world, and I never had the chance to be an action hero. And then Descendants of Zombies kind of just happens, and I said, okay, cool, I can start campaigning to be everybody's favorite action hero, go down in history for being everybody's favorite Descendants of Zombies character. Jonathan Clarke will have all this merch. JonathanClarke.com will be online. I had huge dreams. But the reason why I had huge dreams was because of each and every one of you, and how much you believed in this voice that I had, that I shared with you predictions and theories and character breakdowns and reviews, and probably because I wanted to give Kylie Cantrell a president she could finally be proud of, because even her political point of view has been misinterpreted, taken out of context, and never really been taken into consideration. The thing is, the girl still has a long way to go, and nobody should really have to come down hard on her, because she knows in her heart she still has a long way to go. she has a lot of competition out there, guys. She has Britney Spears, she has Christina Aguilera, she has the Pussycat Dolls coming back, she has all these wonderful movies on the way out. She's got her own movie called Zack Power coming out in 2027. Next week is Super Mario Galaxy, and I have no idea how Quality Control is even going to contend with that, because I was always a Super Mario fan, and millions of people were. So when you really think about it, I mean, should we really come down hard on a girl who had the chance to dance with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as part of season 14 of The Masked Singer? I say this because I always wanted the chance to get down with the Backstreet Boys and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I never had the chance. So Quality Control's one-upped me, and she's one-upped everybody else. So why can't we just give her the praise that she deserves? Why can't we just get on the Quality Control fan wagon and continue to ride that through the sunsets on the proverbial horses for forever? Because if Quality Control wants to go down in history for being the greatest of all time, I have no issues with that. Because I'll tell you a little secret. I've always wanted to go down in history for being the greatest of all time too. And I know I will, because of the love and support that I have for each and every one of you. I think that everything Quality Control is doing is cool. I think that we can find time in supporting it. As to, we can find time in supporting Freya Sky because her music videos are very lovely. And I think the one thing we should appreciate about Freya Sky is how she's so young, but she's writing such beautiful music that undeniably has touched each and every one of our hearts. I can't lie. Freya Sky is writing the most beautiful music that I have ever heard in my life. You know, Emily Osment was somebody who was never given enough credit on the Hannah Montana series. I saw a beautiful girl who was under a considerable amount of pressure, always attending public school, going home from public school, having to be on the set of Hannah Montana. The girl couldn't get any rest. And then she revamped her music career and came up with this Alice name called Bluebird, and she was releasing beautiful music by 2019. And I remember being a huge fan of her, and I couldn't help but support her. And I'm doing the same thing for Quality Control because I believe that her upcoming album is truly going to be something special. If her previous EP was any indication, the future music projects for Quality Control is going to be something to really appreciate. But still, people are criticizing how apparently, reportedly, she's opted out of the Worlds Collide Tour. Why do you think she's opted out of the Worlds Collide Tour? Have we ever stopped to think about the criticism being the reason why? Have we ever stopped to think about why all these ridiculous rumors about herself and Malia Baker may have been the reason why? I don't think there's a single fan out there who has always I don't think there's a single fan out there who has never really believed in Quality Control. They believe in Quality Control with all their heart, and they don't deserve to hear all this criticism about Quality Control. I think we need to be more supportive of her future, and I can't feel more honored to be a part of that with thousands of people who love her with all their heart. And I know you will hit this subscribe button this evening because you feel the same way. And I think that that's why this YouTube channel has become everybody's favorite Descendants and Zombies YouTube channel, because they know that Jonathan Clarke understands what it's like to be a fan of something like Descendants and Zombies. You know the one thing I've always wished? It would have been the chance to have grown up at your guys' age and had the chance to experience Descendants and Zombies. I may have had the chance to experience Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and the Flintstones and Rugrats and Hey Arnold and popular video games like Super Mario and Donkey Kong when they were in their prime. But I've never had the chance, and you're saying to yourself, Jonathan Clarke, you are a really huge fan of Super Mario and Donkey Kong, aren't you? Well, again, going back to friendships and how chemistry is really created from out of nowhere, did you ever stop to think about how the chemistry happened kind of between Super Mario and Donkey Kong and how they just fit together so appropriately and went on to create some of the most successful video games of all time? Donkey Kong versus Mario was always one of my favorite video games back on the original Nintendo Entertainment System, which was released back in the 80s. And you're saying to yourself, hey, Jonathan Clarke, keep on talking because your YouTube channel is the coolest YouTube channel I have ever watched. Thank you if you're somebody who believes that. And yes, the rumors are true. I was always a fan of Donkey Kong. I have this Donkey Kong t-shirt that I always seem to wear in the summer times on these videos, so you just might want to think about subscribing. You know, if Quality Control wants to embark on these journeys of being a movie actress and being in all these movies like Zack Power, releasing such successful music, then I support her. And I also will continue to support Freya Sky because Freya Sky has big dreams. She may receive a lot of criticism like we all do because, as I've said many times, everybody is a critic. But when you find time in appreciating who they are and really get to know them, I think that your love and support will exceed any expectation that you may have ever had. I know that your favorite Descendants of Zombie stars have always exceeded every expectation that I've ever had as a reviewer, and I felt more than honored to have the chance to review them for all of you. I think that Liamani Segura is going to offer something special to Descendants 5. I have no idea what songs are she's going to sing, but reportedly she's going to be featured in this remix of Life is Sweeter When You Are, and I've been left wondering where Ruby's voice is on that song, because there was just something about Ruby's voice being incredibly beautiful and beyond talented as a part of the Descendants Rise of Red soundtrack for what she offered to a song like Life is Sweeter When You Are. I know it was referred to as a bubblegum type song, but I mean, just start singing it and snapping your fingers for about 10 seconds. Life is, it just gets stuck in your head. There's something about it that just gets stuck in my head. While I can't speak for every other critic, there's just something about life is, and you're snapping your fingers and you're doing the whole thing, and you're saying to yourself, hey, Jonathan Clarke, get up and bust a move for us. Well, if I was a lot younger, I would. But the thing is, I think, and you're saying to yourself, Jonathan Clarke, put on the song and dance. I'll think about it. In a future video, I'll think about doing it for you if you subscribe. The song was a really beautiful song, and it really brought the best out of these characters and really allowed them the chance to tell us their stories that probably a lot of us never really took seriously, because first and foremost, we didn't really know much about these characters, but as we watched The Rise of Red, how many of us continued to fall deeper in love with this franchise? And after a 5-year hiatus had been seen, and everybody was freaking out saying, is this really the end of Descendants of Zombies? Why isn't there a Descendants 4? Why did they have to close the barrier? Why isn't Disney Plus putting out more specials about Descendants of Zombies, and going on and on and on? After 5 years of a hiatus was seen, Descendants came back in a very beautiful way, and it went on to captivate more hearts than we ever imagined possible. I truly believe that Descendants of Zombies is well on its way to becoming some of the greatest franchises of all time, certainly some of the most popular, because of how you believed in crazy guys with theories such as my own. Because I've always believed in alien invasions and zombie apocalypses happening from out of nowhere, and you can never be too prepared. But then again, that's what puts smiles on each and every one of your faces. I would have loved to have had the chance to have grown up in this generation and experienced Descendants of Zombies for the first time, because when I experienced Descendants for the first time, I was around 25 years old, and I loved it. From the very first opening note of the song Rotten to the Core, I knew these stars were well on their way to achieving legacies, and I just wanted to be a part of it. I had no idea I was going to go on to create thousands of videos inspired by Descendants of Zombies, but lo and behold, that's what happened. And you guys made this your favorite Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel. Thousands of people subscribed here, saw something special in the stories I share with you about Red and Chloe and Mel and Evie and Bridget. Bridget will always have a very special place in my heart for just how sweet she was. We often think about these villains of being some of the most annoying characters ever created, but there's always a backstory behind these villains and why they turned out the way they did. And seeing the young Queen of Hearts Bridget's story really made me fall in love with that character and really wish she could have stayed that way for forever. Those type of characters are characters that you wish could stay young forever, and you yourself could stay young forever and really find the fountain of youth. And you're probably saying to yourself, hey, Jonathan Clarke, do you know where the Fountain of Youth is? You play Indiana Jones on PlayStation 5, so you gots to know where the Fountain of Youth is so I can stay young for the rest of my life. Well, while I wish I did know the answer to that question, I obviously don't know where the Fountain of Youth is, but I do know that characters like Bridget are characters that wish that you could stay young for forever, that make you wish that, because of just how beautifully she represented that character. And if there was one thing that I could let Ruby know about how I felt, it would always be thank you for her contributions to that character and how much she would go on to mean to the Descendants of Zombies franchises and to all of our hearts, because no matter who we were, even if it wasn't Bridget, we all took something special away from the characters and their stories, and I couldn't have felt more honored to be a part of it. These conversations are conversations I've always loved having with you guys. These are conversations I've looked forward to, and I've always wanted to showcase these stars for the best abilities they had, which was talent, which was pure strength and dedication, because these characters, if you ask Jonathan Clarke, he will always tell you are some of the strongest people he's ever drawn inspiration from. I never imagined that these characters would give me so much incentive to create so many wonderful videos. I hate seeing them cry. I hate seeing them feeling down on their luck. And I just wish I could tell them that everything was going to be okay, because their contributions to entertainment in general will never ever be forgotten. Contributions to both entertainment and to all of our lives, because they have played a significant role. While I can't speak for other content creators on YouTube, they have played a significant role in my life, and the one thing I've always wanted them to know is that everything is going to be okay. Forget about the criticism, stop crying, get back up on your feet, get back up on the hearse, on the horse and ride off into the proverbial sunset, because they are destined for great things, and I'm just so honored to be a part of that. I really do think they have something special to offer this world, and we are all going to be a part of history, and we are all going to have the chance to be a part of something special. I think that these critics are really ridiculous, what they've led you guys to believe. You are entitled to your opinions. You are entitled to what you believe in. So if you think that, let's say, mermaids are happening for Descendants of Zombies at any given moment, then you should continue on believing it, because I, for one, believe that mermaids offer something special to every story they've ever been a part of, like Pirates of the Caribbean, like Little Mermaid. I mean, Ariel's story was a beautiful story. From the very first moment I saw it back in 1989, I knew Ariel, because of her voice, her talent as a singer, and her talent as an actress, was going to be wonderful. And she still is one of the most revered and talked about Disney princesses in whatever conversation you would like to have. I've always believed that mermaids offer something special to stories, bring stories to life, and if you want to believe that a mermaid is going to happen in Zombies and become more of a reality than we ever dreamed of, then you should continue on believing in that. I think that your predictions are wonderful. It's what makes Descendants of Zombies so special, and it's what offers me the chance to relate to more people than ever before. I have loved living here on this island. It is quite beautiful, and I would love to continue on producing this show from this island, because it offers me so much incentive about ghost stories, about fairies, about mermaids. And if you wonder, yes, I do believe in fairies, because I've actually seen some. I've been living here on this island for at least, the better part of 30 years, and some of the things you see here are often sometimes unexplainable, but some of the things that are unexplainable are often some of the most beautiful stories ever told. And while some of the things we've seen in Descendants of Zombies may never have been explained, they are some of the most beautiful things ever witnessed. And I look forward to being a part of this future with each and every one of you and your favorite stars, because if one guy is going to support them, well, then it's going to have to be me. It has everything to do with how I felt inspired and always drawn inspiration from your favorite characters and all these moments that have made you fans of Descendants of Zombies. Like the very first moment you heard Zed and Edison sing that song, Someday. I've always wanted to sing that song with a girl of my own, but we never had the chance to. It's a beautiful song that really gave a lot of people inspiration, that people couldn't help but fall in love with. One of the most beautiful duets that I've ever heard and seen in my life. Both the music video and the lyrics of that song really helped bring that song to life. So if you're asking Jonathan Clarke what is his favorite song from the Zombie soundtrack and score, it would have to be Someday, hands down, because it really was a beautiful song. And you're saying to yourself, hey, Jonathan Clarke, man, your YouTube channel is the best YouTube channel that I have ever watched when it comes to Descendants of Zombies reviews. I am smashing your subscribe button. Let's go. Thank you so much if you are somebody who is saying that tonight, because I've always had this sentiment belief, and that's how a YouTube channel achieves success, is having the belief that there's always that one person out there who loves Descendants of Zombies with all their heart, who is forever going to hit your subscribe button because they love hearing you talk about Descendants of Zombies, which a whole lot of people can't do. Have you ever noticed a lot of people just upload these edits about Descendants of Zombies that are 30 seconds? What is the point of that? You got to talk about Descendants of Zombies. Recording a reaction video is not going to give people a reason to subscribe to you. You got to tell them how much you believe in zombie apocalypses and alien invasions happening. Come to think of it, after I get off the show, I'm going to go out and try to get beamed up for you guys and come back and tell you what it was like. Because the thing is, if you have heart for Descendants of Zombies, you should never be afraid to let the world know how you feel about characters like Kylie Cantrell and Ruby Rose Turner, who, God knows, will forever and always hold a very special place in my heart. You should never be afraid to let the world know how you truly feel. Instead of just coming on here, uploading a 30-second teaser trailer, telling everybody how much you love Red and Chloe's hair and the new costumes, believe you me, I've heard and I've seen it all, from obvious predictions about release windows and how beautiful Red and Chloe's hair looks. Have you ever taken into consideration just how beautiful they are in general? Forget about their hair, but just think about how beautiful they are in general and just how far they've come. We will pick up this conversation tomorrow morning, bright and early, between 8:35 and 9:05 a.m., which is a conversation that I am inviting you cordially to join me for, because these are conversations that I've always looked forward to having with thousands of fans of Descendants of Zombies, and perhaps even more, because I know there is somebody out there who has never subscribed to this YouTube channel, hi. If you're new here, welcome in. My name is Jonathan Clarke, and I am one of the biggest fans of Descendants of Zombies of all time, because you guys have saw something special in every video that I've ever created, and saw something special in my voice, because there's always been a way of me telling this story that is very different from everybody's ability to tell this story, which makes this YouTube channel forever special. If different was a superpower, which is a line from the song Someday in Zombies, well, then I'm obviously different, because I've been different for pretty much all of my lifetime. I started being different at the age of 5 years old, and I never looked back. And I've agreed with every lyric in every song of Descendants and Zombies, because they speak truth, ladies and gentlemen. And if you are somebody who loves Descendants and Zombies with all of your heart, then I think this is the YouTube channel for you. And you should look no further than this being the most dedicated and everybody's favorite Descendants and Zombies YouTube channel of all time, because the one thing that is for sure, while we may never know what the future has in store for any of us, because if you ask me, I don't know what's going to happen, I do know that you guys will always have me. Thank you so much for your love and support of this channel, having made it your favorite Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel, and believing in zombie invasions and alien apocalypses, or however you want to say it, with all of your heart. Thank you so much for having watched this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and we will pick up this conversation from where we left it off on everybody's favorite Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel, bright and early tomorrow morning between 8:35 and 9:05 a.m. Thank you so much for having watched this video.